Good morning, family. Hope you all are having a wonderful day, and welcome back to Thinking Things Tuesday with me, Closer Chick. So, a lot has happened. I know we are taking out this video, which is a few days late, but who's counting? If I have to tell you what I went through to get this video out, this Thinking Tanks episode for this week, you won't believe it, but this is now our second attempt trying to get the news out. So, family, as we started last week without thinking, thanks Tuesday, and we are still on the Palapa Bester and Nandipha saga. So, we're just gonna repeat whatever which we did last week, because there's some what you call it, there's some news, additional continuity of some stories. So the stories don't really end last week. In the last week's stories which we talked about, there's some developing episodes as well. For example, on the Palapa Bester and Nandipha saga, last week after we did the story, there were 3 more arrested, and they were all working for the G4S company. So they're all involved in the prison company, I must say. So from the 3 which were arrested, I believe that only one, Tabang something, got bail, and then they will be appearing again, all of them, on the 8th of August this year in court. And then there was one which was like some sort of an interest in the whole case. It was a guy by the name of Zanda Moyo, which was originally Zimbabwean from Kwabulawayo. And the reason why he's been of interest is the fact that he first, when he came into the picture, he was working for Dr. Nandipha at her aesthetic clinic. And then from working for her, and then she went to, I think he's involved in helping Dr. Nandipha and Bester with the bodies from escaping the prison, and was also the driver. He used to drive them around on their business trips to Cape Town, allegedly, the property business which they have in Cape Town. And then he was also staying with them at their mansion. So he was chased out eventually. I don't know, maybe he was trying to blackmail them or something, but eventually he was chased out of the mansion. But he was also arrested as part of the suspects as well in the case. So on the Dr. Nandipha, we still continue. There's 3 more arrested, which happened in last week after we did the news. And yeah, they all will be in court on the 8th of August this year, and we'll see how that goes. But the story just keeps on growing and growing. And then also we mentioned on the Zulu Kingdom that yes, Mrs. Zulu eventually became the king. But now there's a lot going on in that Zulu Kingdom. In the news this last week, or the trending news with the Zulu Kingdom, was the allegations of King Mrs. Zulu being poisoned and was hospitalized and so on. But then he and his spokesperson, I'm not sure, because there's apparently 2 spokespersons. So there's the one which you know, which is Gachabutelezi, and there's another one which I really don't know who's the new other spokesperson, but there's a lot going on in that kingdom. And then Mrs. Zulu apparently says no, there is no such news there's no such thing of him being poisoned. Yes, he was in hospital, but he was yes, he did went to hospital in Swazini, but that was for his normal checkups, nothing to raise eyebrows over. So it was his normal medical checkup which he went for, not whatever the allegations or the rumors are about him being poisoned or so on. So that's what we've got from the Zulu Kingdom. That's and on the same breath, apparently there is somebody which has been which was close to him, which passed away recently. Yes, there's also that. So we don't really know what's going on in that Zulu Kingdom, but we know there's a lot going on. What it is, we don't know. Was he in hospital for his normal medical checkup? Hopefully. Was it something beyond that? We don't know. Because there's also major tensions, if I must say, because there's been news recently that traditional prime minister, which is Gachabutelezi, has been outspoken about how they do not see eye to eye, which is him and Mrs. Zulu. As you all remember, before Mrs. Zulu became the king of the Amazulu, actually Gacha was the one which was on the forefront. Abu Telez was on the forefront of preparing everything for him. So it kind of now disappointing to find out that they do not see eye to eye, and the cracks are also the cracks in the kingdom are also pouring over into the media, because in the media you'll hear this statement and then on the same breath there'll be another statement. So hopefully they'll clean up the house and make the Zulus great again. And from last week, what we did again, we did mention something about Senzo Meyiwa's case, which has been running for 9 years. And on the Senzo Meyiwa's case, the new development now is that a new judge has been appointed, and the old judge was suspended, I believe. So with that means political analysts have said that might mean that the case will start all over again, and also legal eagles said they will have to recall the witnesses and so on and just redo the whole case now that there's a new judge appointed for the case. And that will still take longer than it was already taken. So the wheels of justice are turning really, really slowly, or they are turning the slowest when it comes to this case. So maybe we're looking at another 10 years of waiting to see what happened or who did what to Senzo Meyiwa. And then on the next one, the next case, which was also trending on the news this week, was the Palapa Report from the public protector, or the acting public protector. On the Palapa Report with the acting from the acting public protector, it says that the president is cleared of all wrongdoings or anything. So the president is clear of any wrongdoings when it comes to the Palapa matters. There was no wrongdoing or whatever we suspected on the matter when it comes to Palapa, what happened in Palapa and the president. So that's what public protector advocate Kaleka said. And then as most of the opposition parties and organizations are heading to court because they would like the matter to be investigated more when it comes to the matter of Palapala. They feel like justice was not done by the public protector as office, so they will now most of the opposition parties are heading to court with the matter of the Palapa report. So the Palapa matter is not over yet, because there will be court actions against the public protector's office or something on those lines. So from the Palapa, and then the next thing, the ANC Youth League conference took place over this weekend. A new leadership was elected by the ANC, by the youth, and so the ANC Youth League's got a new leadership, and apparently they tried to make it 50-50 this time around. There's 3 women and 3 men as well, so it's 50-50 males and females. So hopefully we'll see how they tackle the issues of the youth, seeing that this is there's only a few months left before next year's elections, and we've heard that most of the youth are really not interested in politics anymore, and some of the youth haven't even registered to vote. So we'll see on those matters how the ANC Youth League will tackle those matters, because apparently they are given a mandate to speak to the youth about the upcoming elections. And yeah, so we'll see how they help the party to win the elections next year, because the youth is the one which is suffering a lot, because it doesn't matter whether you are educated or not. There's graduates which are unemployed, but hey, we'll see how that one works. There's still fees must fall, which happens every year, because certain youth from certain backgrounds are still not feel like they need are maintained in this whole new South Africa, whereby black child is supposed to be the priority of the government. So we'll see how the ANC Youth League tackles its youth issues and youth concerns when it comes to politics. And then what else did we take? Oh, one of the trending news was the Blue Light Brigadier struck again. So this time it was Deputy President Paul Mashatile les VIP protection unit, which apparently beat people on the N1 four ways, and yeah, they were beat 2 or 3 civilians. And then so that video, there was a video circulating on social medias about the Deputy President Paul Mashatile VIP protection security service beating up civilians on the N1. The video got a lot of people talking, but then the VIP bodyguards were suspended from the last time I heard. I think that's the developing news on that side. They were suspended. And then it got people questioning on what do you do on the road when there's blue lights, VIP units approaching, and also what privileges do the VIP unit have on the road. So, for example, we are told that the VIP protection unit can ignore certain road instructions at some times. They are allowed to do that, and they can also go over the speed limit. But when they're doing so, they need to make sure that nobody's life is in danger by them, whether going over the speed limit or ignoring those certain road instructions. But there's nothing about the saying that they can get out of the car and beat a person up and leave a person next to the road laying there, and they're not even sure whether the person is still alive or not. So there's still investigation going on, because apparently the IPD, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it has to do with the police investigating police and certain crimes which are done by the law people. They say that they're still going to investigate what happened, because they're not sure why did the VIP unit get out of the car and assault those people. So they're still doing the investigation on that matter, which is interesting though. So that's also that, when do people which have power abuse their power, or was it just part of the training? We don't know. We'll find out. On the news this Saturday, there was a drama about Banyana Saga. Banyana was supposed to have been playing at a certain venue, but they didn't play due to the grievances which they had, and then another team was allocated to go play. It was a whole drama splashed all over the media, and one of the grievances which they have was about finances and so on. So from the latest, there was a press brief which was called by SAFA it was the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture and the Mutsipe Foundation, where the Mutsipe Foundation, I think, donated some money towards Banyana to go play for the World Cup to go play the World Cup in Australia. So that was the developing news with that one. And yeah, I think for now we've done the news which we're supposed to do for the week. I can't go any further than this. So let's keep it short for today. As I said, this is not the first time we tried to do this news for Thinking Things. This is our second attempt for this week. Hopefully, family will see each other again next week when we do another part of Thinking Things. So we're still glued on our previous week's stories, your Dr. Nandipha's, and so on. So there was not much new stories. And yes, there was also Deep Kloof protesting and so on, police shooting at protesters in Deep Kloof. And what else was on the agenda? So there was nothing much I can say. So we'll see it on the world news. On the world news, I don't know, there was something which happened in Ukraine. No, not in Ukraine, sorry, in Russia, where a bunch of, I don't know whether you call them military security or what, they march into Russian capital or something. And yeah, what do they call themselves? The Wagner mutiny. So they march into Russian territory, but then after that there was nothing really which happened. So the only concern was if the Wagner securities could march into Russia, what does it say about Russian security force and them protecting Russia? Are they tired of the war as well, or it was just something else which we didn't know what was going on? So there's not much change in Putin and Vladimir with Russia and Ukraine story. It's still the same old, still fighting. The oil is still expensive. So that's where we are with our Thinking Thanks family. Hope you all have a wonderful day till we meet again next week. Bye.